Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of Rage Quit TV, gonna be casting game number 2 of this BO5 series between FXO.Tear and SlayerS.Arthus. Arthur took game number 1 with a good old beta 4-gate in-base pylon and all, and as we looked over the game in the analysis, Tear definitely had enough scouting information to tell that was gonna happen, or something of that nature was gonna happen, but he just did not pick up on the information. We're on Khaydaria instead of Muspelheim. Both of those maps we haven't seen before, at least these players probably haven't seen before, as they're only in the Korean weekly map pool. They're not in any other tournament, not on the ladder. And when you have things like that, especially in PvP, you're going to see a lot more of a cheesy game, because to defend, to play defensively, it's a lot harder to actually come up with solid builds than it is to play offensively, especially in the PvP matchup, because you have that warp-in mechanic, which kind of negates almost any map feature, the rush distance and all that, because, well, you just warp in across the map and there's nothing they can do about it. So offensive builds kind of work on any map, while defensive builds, you can get taken by surprise by a lot of things. Warp prism play, just catching your enemy out of position, blinks all over. You can look, a lot of area to blink into this space. Even down here, this one ramp is 2 hex, or 2 force fields, I should say. There's a lot of different things to take into account when you play defensively, and just very few things when you play offensively. Or that is my opinion on it. So in this game, it wouldn't surprise me to see cheese, especially because it is a Korean PvP, and the Koreans definitely do focus on one base more than foreigners. The Koreans kind of try to play mechanically and just improve the mechanics, while there's a lot more foreigners that do things with experimenting. When Koreans play in foreign tournaments, they do learn quite a bit, or they've actually started playing on foreign servers instead of just finding out on tournaments, because we definitely do play dramatically different from them. But we do have SlayerS.Arthus now going immediately up on his second gas, but Tear not taking his gas just yet. So Arthur, right now with the earlier gas, we can either see if he goes for a tech play or starts mining and not stop mining. But neither of these players have scouted, and that is a little bit different. The map is a 4-player map, and no scouting definitely means they could be getting cheesed again, but that also could mean you do a 2 Zealot, 2 Stalker move out, because when you do scout, you lose about 100 minerals. So by not scouting, you can gain another Zealot like a lot of Startail Protoss do, and then move out across the map with an extra Zealot. But it looks like these players are just choosing to get their second gateways a little bit earlier and not get the extra unit out, as the first Stalker is produced by Tear, and SlayerS.Arthus not producing an actual unit right now. There we go, Cybernetic Core finishes and his Stalker comes out. It looks like Arthur's Cybernetic Core is just a little bit later than Tear's. Maybe one supply going over into the workers. Both players are at 21, but Arthur got his Cybernetic Core a little bit later because he went for the second gas earlier. And you can see just going all the way around his base, has scouted almost everywhere except here, just ensuring there's no proxy pylons like he did, but he is going to be going off to scout, and he's going to go in the correct direction. But he's scouting after his Cybernetic Core, which means the Stalker can come out, and he is just stopping. And now he is going to be going on in, and this little move, it looked like he was trying to go off when the Stalker was right there. Stalker comes and finds him, the probe immediately turns tail and runs, but the Stalker can catch up on it. And that's another thing with these maps that the players do not know. There's small, subtle stops. If you have a good scouting path, you can really trick your opponent. If you know he's going to be scouting around this edge, make sure there's no forward pylons or proxy anything. You stop your worker, then you go in, and then you know that safe timing to come into the base. It's kind of like what Chef does with Zerglings, and the probe actually is going to live. The Stalker did not chase it down all the way, and the probe going to turn around, and we'll see exactly what ends up happening. We do have the Twilight Council researching Blink and 3 gates, so it is going to be actually 2-gate Robo facility. It wasn't a 3rd gate. Thought it was, but no, 2-gate Robo right now with Blink. Kind of what Tear was trying to do last game. We do see Tear going on a Robo facility with 4 gates. Going to be getting the Observer first, and this is what killed him the last game, going with that very fast Observer. The probe is going to come here. Stalker is here, going to be picking it off, but he does know exactly where his opponent is, and the sentry is going to come. Deny scouting information. That is very good, because that could have been bad. Stalker's going to turn around to go home. The probe just staying alive right over here, choosing not to go back in. Pylon over here can warp units down here to kind of minimize the walking distance. And Observer is made by SlayerS.Arthus, and he's going to go up on 4 gates right now. So he's going 4 gate, blink, robo. This definitely big off of 1 base. And we do have Tear, who's going 4 gate, blink. But he went those 4 gates, I believe, before the Twilight Council. So we have... Oh, no, he didn't. He had the robo facility for Observer. What am I thinking? Anyways, relatively same builds out of both players, just different build orders and different timings on things. An Immortal now coming out from FXO.Tear, while we do have Arthur deciding to move out. The army is 7 Stalkers 1 Sentry to 5 Stalkers 1 Sentry, but with that Immortal, Tear is going to have no problem holding it off. We do have a probe moving down here. Could throw down a forward pylon and do some damage while all the Stalkers are away from home. We have that one probe building a pylon down here, but that is range of this pylon on that high ground. So he is going to easily be able to deny this one pylon very easily. 3 Stalkers do come by. That will be a forced cancel, or maybe the Stalkers will blink up and get these kills. Yes, they do. Blink up, warping up, but there is an Immortal here. Now an offensive blink by Tear, and Arthur has to back off because of that Immortal, and going to be taking a lot of losses. This one pylon does fall, and that will supply cap Arthur right now. Another pylon does come down, but Tear is going to blink down, and this was a big mistake of Tear. We can see the Stalker battle now. Arthur with some really good mic on that one Stalker, 1 hit left, offensive blink, and going into the unit's loss tab. It is now all evened up. And that was definitely surprising. Thought he could do more damage. Didn't think there were that many Stalkers out here. Immortal is going to come down. Arthur does pick off one of them. Now going to be blinking back. Very nice blink still. Not really losing a single unit there. And no, he didn't lose a single unit. And the Immortal is out of shields. This one pylon is going to be taken out. That will not supply cap Tear, but it will bring him very close as he's not building another pylon. 52 out of 58 supply can do 1 more warp in, or pretty much build a Immortal and unit. But the Immortal very low on shields and now back out of shields. And that can just mean he can go down so quickly. Some nice blink going down by both players. Immortal not getting tugged down. There we go. Immortal does get tugged down. And Arthur right now with some really good blink. You can see all his Stalkers are just so injured, but he's keeping them alive with the blink. So is Tear. Some epic blink battles going on right now. Hard to tell who is going to win, and Arthur is going to have to pull on back. Going in the unit counting station, it's 13 Stalkers to 8. So Arthur with a huge lead right now. You can see this unit's loss tab. Very nice micro, nice target firing coming down from Arthur and Tear both. Pylon is going to get taken out, and that will not supply cap Tear as he's lost so many units. 61 supply to 46 supply. 28 workers to 25, but we don't have Arthur taking expansion behind this, so it's still anyone's ball game. Second Immortal not being built, so he's relying just purely on Stalkers. And we do have Arthur now going to blink on up, try to kill off units, and make it a Stalker right here. Gets down to 1 more hit and still lives. And the Observer did get taken out, so Tear did kill off the Observer of Arthur, so Arthur can't really do any dangerous blinks up to the high ground. And we do have double pylons coming out because we have Tear being supply capped, which is very bad. We can see does have a warp in, can warp in 1 unit right now. Can't do it though because, no, yeah, he can't do it because of supply. 3 units now as the pylon does finish, so not the biggest supply cap in the world, but it still is lowering the number of units that Tear can build, but he's still staying low on minerals, so that is good. And we have pylons down on this low ground. Looks like Arthur wants to get his expansion off. Has kind of been doing a really nice contain. And another blink battle is going off. The Observer staying off in the back. They do not want to get sniped. Going in the unit station, 20 Stalkers versus 16. But 4 Zealots also for Arthur, so he has more units. But this is a horrible spot for him to be fighting in, but does blink up offensively. And we do have some nice blinks coming out from Tear, but Arthur just has too much. And Tear is going to have to pull back, and Arthur just sniped Tear's Observer. Now we have an offensive blink, but that may have been a mistake. There's a lot of Stalkers still up here. Some nice target firing, hitting all the Stalkers that were low on shields, and we do have Arthur now pulling off the retreat. And meanwhile, there is a Zealot from Tear coming in to the mineral line of Arthur. If he doesn't react quick enough, he can take a lot of damage, as we do see him just using a warp in down here to put on the offensive. And the work count should be plummeting. Maybe not. It's staying the same right now, but we do have more blink battles going on. But the concave is just bad for Arthur. He's going to have to pull back yet again. That Zealot's gone. So, wherever he was, he is not there anymore. We do have an Immortal now being built by Tear. It looks like he has held on for a good time and is equal in workers. This one pylon is going to get sniped by Arthur. Arthur just being as annoying as possible. Keep in mind, the Observer did go down, and we do have Immortals now being built, so he's kind of giving up on those Observers right now, and Arthur is just containing him. However, he is doing a contain and not expanding. I saw him do this against Gummyho. I think he really delays his expansion quite a bit, because if you have your opponent contain, what can he do? Nothing. He's going to have to go with a very bad concave down this little ramp. And once these Immortals cut pretty high in numbers, it will be dangerous. So Warp Prisms could come, go to his main base. So doing these little contains is dangerous. You can do damage, especially when they're going like this, but once the Immortal count gets to like 3, then they'll just be able to one-shot Stalkers with Blink won't even help, but some very nice blinks coming out from Arthur. Really surprised by that Blink micro. But again, the Immortal count is going to get high enough, and that is going to put an end to this little contain, and Arthur still not getting an Expo. And Immortal's doing quite a bit of damage on all their Stalkers. Good concave by both players, and we do have Tear having to pull on back. The minerals are getting dangerously low, 100 minerals or 150, pretty much average among the patches, and that definitely a scary thing when both players still on one base. Whoever has the better army will end up winning this unless Arthur, there we go, finally taking his expansion, realizing, hey, I don't have minerals. There's one of those patches with 55 minerals left, so really needs to get that. Another Immortal is coming out as one of them did fall. Again, 3 Immortals would be just so devastating right now, and really good blinks by Arthur. I can't say that enough. Not really taking much of a loss. You can see the units lost tab right now. Nice job by that Immortal. There we go, picking off one of those Stalkers. And this Immortals just do so much damage per volley. Observer is going to be built so he can take out this one Observer, because once this Observer gets taken out, then he's perfectly safe on his base. However, he can't move down because of things like that, the force field picking off an Immortal, and that was a huge, huge loss for FXO.Tear. And you can see that resource loss is just changing even more, and we do have that Nexus almost done. So as this base gets completely... Wait, what? 26. Okay, they were transferring on down, but it was just a little bit early of a transfer. I was like, wait, what happened? There's no probes at the main, but no. Transferred a little bit early, not a big deal. And you can see Tear is going to have to go all in right now. Does he even have enough for a Nexus? No, I don't think he does. 125, 110. Whoops in one more unit. There's no way he can build a Nexus. No, he can't because he's building this Immortal. So, right now, Arthur, he's done it. He's contained him long enough. He's like, okay, I don't have to attack you anymore. I don't have to contain you. You're not mining. You can't build a Nexus, dude. So now he's just going to pull on back. There's also 3 Stalkers down here that do get met over here, and those Stalkers do end up seeing, yes, you do have an expansion, so the all-in is coming. Should even pull these probes because, again, cannot build any Nexuses. So not pulling the probes right now. Maybe a small mistake. Is he going to end up pulling those or not? Because I don't count it in cheese if they can't do a thing. Those 3 Stalkers going to get picked off, and that is not what Tear can end up happening. That just pretty much nails the coffin. You can see the army supply 73 to 55. Defender's advantage goes to Arthur. There's, even if we had Tear defending, there's no defender's advantage because he's no longer mining. Some nice force fields go down by Arthur, and now he is just going to be pulling on back home. And there goes the GG. So Arthur right now taking this 2-0. He wins one more game. He is going to go into the finals and play against a Zerg player. So definitely pretty cool. And nice contain there. And had the ninja sense to say, hey, I mined out my main. You've mined out your main. I'm going to pull on back. Pretty darn good game. And that was the longest one base play I have ever seen. Can't believe Arthur didn't expand earlier than that. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the game. Going into game number 3 very shortly.